Hey everybody, it's Terry with the Drone Cav. Thanks for being here. Thanks for checking out the show. If you didn't see last Thursday's show, we're going to put a link here to go check it out. It was our first Drone Cav live show. It was a ton of fun. We had a super guest, Lauren LaPrey. We premiered Lauren's new movie, COVID 2024. It was all shot in quarantine. It's really cool. It had some pretty cool drone shots in there. I'm not saying anything, not patting myself on the back. But anyway, it's worth checking out and check out Lauren's show. But anyway, that was a fun show. Hopefully we'll be seeing some more Drone Cav live shows down the road. Maybe if you have any thoughts or ideas on that, pop some comments down there. Let's talk about it. Anyway, what we're going to talk about today is something that we've touched on in the past, because again, all these things, they all kind of intertwine and overlap, and things from 5 shows ago are going to be pertinent now, and vice versa. And things, it's a constant, dynamic bunch of stuff going on. So anyway, I'm prepping to go out on a shoot, and I'm going actually up to the Panhandle in Florida, Panama City Beach, to shoot some video and stills for a friend's wedding, a family member's wedding. And so it's going to be really cool. It's going to be a beautiful beach wedding. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Panama City Beach. It'll be my first visit there. From what I see, it's got some amazing scenery. Gorgeous beaches, blue turquoise water, white powdery sandy beaches, gorgeous parks, just amazing stuff to see. So I've been preparing not only to shoot the wedding, but while I'm there, I'm going to shoot some photography. I'm going to shoot some videography to build my stock library. That's something I talk about quite a bit. I've talked about it before. Whenever you go out, if you're going to take a little trip, or you just have a Sunday afternoon, nothing to do, and you have a drone, you're trying to get familiar with it, go out and just shoot stuff. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. It doesn't have to be, these big dramatic scenes. Like, again, where I'm going, there could very well be some cool stuff like that. But it not only gives you practice, but it builds your stock library. You never know down the road that one boring little shot you got of, who knows, flying over a tree. I mean, you might at the time think, who cares? Down the road, you're going to say, man, I wish I had that shot flying over that tree. So it's always good just to accumulate, build your stock, keep it stored, and this is a topic we're talking about getting into, your file management and how to store your data and catalog your library. So anyway, today what I want to talk about is what to take with you, or what I'm taking with me on a trip like this. I'm not going to take every ounce of gear I've got, but I'm going to take quite a bit because I want to be prepared. And I talk about this all the time. Getting the shot is one thing. That's cool. That might be, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, a couple of minutes of shooting in the air. To get to that, it's going to take you a long time. It's going to take you hours and hours and hours, weeks, months of practice to get the skills to get that shot. It's also going to take you time in preparing to get out there. So you got to do your homework. You got to plan your gear. You got to take the right gear. Nothing worse than getting out there and having a little $5 cable blow your day. So anyway, let's go through some of the gear I'm taking. Probably not going to show you every single little boring thing, but I'm going to show you some essential stuff to take. So basically, I'm taking three items. You've heard me talk about this guy before, and if you've noticed, we're kind of doing the video webcam style today, so the quality's not what it normally is, because I'm not shooting really high def or anything. I'm just using my webcam. So like when you see me on the live shows, this is the camera I use. Osmo Pocket. Boy, do I love this guy. I absolutely love the Osmo Pocket. Briefly, we've talked about before, it's this little tiny camera on a 3-axis gimbal, shoots 4K, amazingly high quality for such a little device. Again, small enough to put in your pocket, in the case. Boom. There you go. It's tiny. It's a tiny little thing. And just so you know, if you're thinking about maybe getting one of these, I was just happened to be nosing around on DJI's website yesterday, DJI.com. These retail for $369. again, not a bad price. I mean, it's just basically the camera and, you know, the basics, a charging cable and such. But they now have these in their refurbished department for, I think they were $279. Not bad, because you get the same warranty and everything. Why not? I mean, it's just coming to you just like new. So if you're looking to save some money, there's some deals out there right now. Just thought I'd pass that along. Don't know if they're going to be there long. So if you are interested, might be a good time to save a few bucks. But again, these are nice. They come with a case. You can charge through the case. It's got a little hole cut there so you can plug your charging cable right in. So it protects it while you're charging it. Wrist strap. Cool little device. But this isn't the full kit for the Osmo that I take. This is an accessory. It is a extender handle or extender rod, I believe, and it's also made by DJI. Now, you can get a lot of these things if you look on Amazon to extend, you know, like a big selfie stick, but they don't have the tools that this has built in. The way this dude works, that little holder pivots up. That holds your smartphone. It's not big enough for a tablet, but it's big enough to hold a decent-sized smartphone. But it has controls right here, which would be the same as on the Osmo itself. So you can power on, power off. It even has this touchpad. I'm not sure how good that's coming through, but if you can see me move that around, you can take your thumb and articulate the gimbal on the Osmo as it's moving around. Okay, well, that's all fine and good. Well, what's the big deal? I mean, the Osmo is just right here, right? Pull that out, and you know, it shows your Osmo. It mounts in here. Well, it extends pretty far out. So, again, we've had this in a previous episode, so I'm not going to get real deep into it. But this dude is really handy for getting those angles, those pass-throughs, those really low angles looking up. You can do a lot with this. It folds down in this nice, compact, and it's built really well. If you notice, I'm really having to kind of push to get that to move around. Nice and small. Okay, well, what am I doing here? I happen to have this little tripod because it's got a 1/4-20 there. Spin this dude on, tighten it up. Up here where you can see it. Little mini tripod. Now we're talking. Now if you want to get one of those time-lapse or motion-lapse shots with your Osmo, works really well. Again, folds down small, folds down compact. Now, carrying all this in this little tiny low pro bag. So, see how I have it laid out in there. Pop the tripod in. I'm going to talk about these a lot. Microfiber towels. We talked about those in the last episode. Keep some of these in every bag. Take these because you're always going to be wiping off your lenses. Nice little spot for the Osmo to live. Nice and safe, padded in there. But what about those microfibers and wiping off your lenses? We've been talking about these a lot lately. ND filters. ND filters for the Osmo. You can get a ton of ranges. I mean, these range from, right now I'm carrying an 8, 16, 32, and 64. These are all polarized. They're magnetic. Takes 2 seconds just to pop it on. Just got an ND 1000. I'm anxious to mess around with that for some long exposure photography. Boom. Fits right in the bag. Now, what did I say about something that could end your day quick? Cables. I am a cable fanatic. If you have one, keep 2. Chances are one can fail. So you want to keep a backup cable, whether it's a lightning cable, a USB-C, a micro USB, whatever kind of cable, whatever the device. Keep a couple cables. Now, all this stuff packs down nice and neat. And don't forget, from your pallet of SD cards, take some spares and take a card reader, spare reader. But take some spare SD cards. Don't overlook those. All right. One last thing for the Osmo. This, again, in a previous episode I mentioned this. This is a Wi-Fi adapter that pops onto the bottom of the Osmo that lets it transmit out to your phone or your iPad, so you can see and control, set up your shot from the bigger screen. Now the Osmo, again, it has a little tiny, like 1-inch screen on it, which works. I mean, it's fine. It's a touch screen. You can use it, but it's tough to see all the controls, and the targets are so tiny. And I've kind of got big, like clunky fingers, so it's really tough to like get that right where you want it. So the bigger screen is a big plus for me. Now, how do I carry all this in this little tiny bag? Slip the extension rod there, zip it up, boom. So right there, I've got a pretty cool, really portable, easy to carry kit for the Osmo. All right, so device number 1 down. Device number 2, talking about having something with you all the time. And you guys are probably going to get tired of hearing me just swoon over the Mini, the Mavic Mini. Boy, this thing just gets better all the time. Between firmware releases from DJI, where they update functionality, to accessories, to just learning different techniques, how to fly. It's like I said, it's not going to replace, a big giant Matrice flying a red camera. It's not meant for that. It's meant to be there. It's meant to be in your car. It's meant to go with you on hikes or walks or do rehearsals or do practice or even get footage in up to 2.7K. Yeah, it's not bad. If you're doing something for online, what more do you need? What's YouTube handling for you? Things like that. You got to think through, what do you really need versus what do you want? I mean, sure, of course, everybody wants 4K. We've even got 6K and 8K cameras out now. But you need a turbo, super-powered computer to handle that kind of data. So again, something like this is a really good tool, not necessarily just for a beginner. And there's kind of that misnomer of, it's a cheap drone, it's for beginners, it doesn't shoot 4K. Hey, I'm not a beginner, and I fly it all the time, and I can get some pretty cool stuff out of it. So it's the tools that you have and the way you can use them. So anyway, this is the Mavic Mini. Got Osmo on the brain. This is the Mavic Mini what's called the Fly More combo. Briefly, went over this before, but this is, you can get the base kit, which has the aircraft, the controller, and 1 battery for $400. Throw another $100 with it. You get the same things, the aircraft, the controller, but you get 3 batteries. You get this handy dandy little charger and storage dock, and this is a dual charger. If you can see those ports, if you are out and your cell phone dies or something needs charged by USB, this can work as a power bank, so you can charge other devices up. Again, cables and charger fit right in place under the battery, and it comes with this handy dandy case. Now, let's cables yet again. This is a bit longer than stock cable. This isn't a cable that comes with it. This is an accessory type cable for a lightning connector that plugs into the side of the controller. Of course, it comes with a stock cable that you can, let's open this up. The handles of the controller open up. You fit your smartphone in here for your controller screen, and it has a little cable. It's not attached now, so you can't obviously see it. But it has a little short cable here that plugs into the controller, then into your phone. That's cool. And, if you have your phone fit in here, like, yay. So that works really well. But instead of the phone, I like to use an iPad Mini. Now, an iPad Mini will fit in here, believe it or not. You can pull these out far enough. It is designed to fit, when you take the Mini out of the case, it'll fit in there. It gives you a nice bigger, much bigger screen to work with. Plus, it doesn't tie up your phone, because you may need to make a call. You may need to use your phone as a phone for whatever reason. but it frees up that device. And I use the Mini as more of a dedicated flight control screen for that. The thing is, the reason I need that other cable is it's longer, because the short cable is not going to plug in to that area. It's going to have to be longer to plug into the iPad Mini. But wait, there's more. Taking it up a notch, I like to use this guy if I'm flying for very long. This is an aluminum base. It's mostly aluminum. It's kind of a photographic tripod holder thing. The Mini fits in here, but check this out. It is made roughly the shape and outline of a smartphone, so it fits. I don't have it in there perfectly. I'm just kind of doing this to show you. So it kind of fits in there like a smartphone would, but it holds the Mini up here. So it gives you the screen up here a little closer, and the holes cut out there give you more to grip onto. You can get your fingers around there. You can hold onto the controller better. Honestly, when you have the Mini in the handle down here, I'll do that once in a while if I'm just flying something that's, I'm not going to fly very long, maybe a battery or two. It's fine. But the thing is, your hands are all kind of splayed out like this, and it's kind of awkward to hold. It's really weird to hold and use the sticks. Your arms are kind of bent at this weird angle, and it just gets a little fatiguing after a while. Where this is very comfortable, and you have a nice grip on it. This also has, if you can see there, a little hole, and it comes with a lanyard, so you can hold it around your neck. So that takes a little bit of that weight off, and also is a safety thing. I mean, if you would accidentally drop it, if it would slip out of your hands or something, you've got a little extra protection there to help hold it. Now, hopefully this wouldn't slide out of the controller. Probably not. The controller's not that heavy, but who knows. So anyway, that's a super nice accessory there for the Mini. Now, all this back, put this in the box, got the cable in the box. See what I got in the box? All right, now, again, with the Fly More combo, you get the little kind of hard shell case here. Does a nice job. It's got a handle, a couple of loops there if you have a shoulder strap from something else. It doesn't come with one. But, man, how do you carry all this stuff around? And how about if you get some more goods like ND filters for the Mavic Mini? Again, super nice set. Gotta have ND filters for everything. Keep ND filters. So, what do? You carry all this stuff around in your pocket? No. Let's be organized. I was recently cleaning out the garage and found this bag that had been kind of stored away for a long time. My fiance is a photographer, and she has some bags, and this was a spare bag that she used to use, no longer used. And I thought, hey, perfect. Let's repurpose this. I mean, it's a super nice, like brand new. I mean, just an excellent bag. It's got a couple pockets on the sides for some accessories. Perfect pocket for ND filters. It's got some little other pockets there. I'm going to say it. SD cards. Carry SD cards. Keep a bunch of them. But the cool thing, I was thinking, how do I carry the Mini in its box? How's all this stuff going to fit? Well, it has this handy dandy pocket on top. Boy, I'm just like giving you the full tour, huh? That fits into, but I was able to open this up. I threw a little, here's another little tip for the Mini. This is just a mouse pad. What's he need a mouse pad for? A takeoff pad. You know, my big landing mat, the big round one you've seen a bunch of times with the orange and the H, or the, you know, the blue side, orange side, whichever. The Mini is small enough to take off and land on this. So it's a little smaller, a little quick and easy to deploy. It's kind of thick, a little heavy. It's not going to blow away. Plus it makes a nice floor in the bag. For the Mini in its case to go in another case. Double case Mini, just in case it's in a case, 2 cases. But anyway, that puts everything, the controller fits up here, everything in this nice little shoulder bag, you know, ready to go. And we've still got room for more accessories. So if I continue to add things, which I probably will, there's going to be plenty of room in the bag. All right. So now the Mini. Talked about the Mini. Now we're getting up to the big guy, the heavy hitter. The Evo. What do we take with the Evo? Well, we love stuff for the Evo, don't we? The Evo will be beautiful for these settings in the area we're going to, because this camera is more of a cinematic camera. It shoots 4K up to 60 at 100 megabits. It's just a beautiful camera. Easy to get nice, stable shots because it is such a reliable drone. Has excellent flight stability and characteristics. Excellent sensors, obstacle avoidance. It's got everything really to do a shoot like this very well. So the case I use for the Evo, and this may be my favorite case ever. I have a couple of these. It's made by Lowepro. Again, big camera case manufacturer. This is a BP 150. It's kind of a small backpack. It's not huge, but it is laid out extremely well. Little trick I want to show you here. All right, I've got a few things here. The way I have it sectioned out. This top section, don't have the charger in there now, but it's here on the desk. That's where the charger will go. So it's a perfect zipper pocket for that. Keeps the charger, charging cables, all that stuff up here out of the way, not bouncing around with everything else. Room for a couple batteries, stored in there nice and safe. And between these areas, right, this is where the controller sits. Perfect spot for that. But look down here. This big black area even has a lid. Down underneath there, we can see a couple props, spare props. But check that out. See the shape, the profile? That's where the Evo fits, right in there. Let's take a second to put him in there. Wow, look at that. Just like it's made for it, right? Because it was made for it. This, Evo owners, is the packing material that comes in the box when you buy a new Evo. This is a really nice custom cut piece of foam. It's not real hard, not real soft, but the people at Autel felt it was good enough to pack an Evo in this, put it in its box, and ship them out to stores or across country or wherever they happen to go. Safe enough for that. I thought, hey, if it's good enough for that, it's going to be good enough for my case instead of trying to do some weird thing. It's not going to be a custom fit. It has 4 holes for the legs to fit in. It holds the Evo very securely. Plus, it gives a little bit more rigidity to the sides of the case here. Exact perfect fit. I did not have to trim. I did not have to cut. Didn't have to do anything goofy. It just fits right in here, nice. And then I used the inserts that came with the bag to build the little custom compartments here in the top section. So anyway, that's kind of a cool thing about the Evo. This is the top lid. When I put the Evo in before we take off, or not literally take off, but before we leave the area with the bag. But this one gives it a little extra protection. Of course, this is soft, closes right up, and holds everything in place nice and securely. Again, that kind of double protection. You're moving around, you're going to carry this thing on your shoulder, you're going to hopefully not toss it in your car, but be careful when you put it in the car. But when you move it around, it's going to get bumped around a little bit. So the more protection, the better. Can't stress that enough. Now it has this nice second pocket that opens up. Show you a couple of these things. Again, gear I keep in my bag. Sunshades. Now for the Evo controller, sometimes I'll use the iPad mini. And for that, it takes a little accessory extender that fits onto the phone holder to let it grip onto the iPad. But other times, I have a dedicated device, an LG Stylo 3. It's kind of an old phone. I don't use it for a phone, but it's about I think a 5.5-inch screen. Excuse me. About a 5.5-inch screen, and it fits in the controller perfectly. But this sun shield is really nice when you're out in the sun. Again, I'm in Florida. I do a lot of shooting around here. The sun can be pretty brutal. This is a nice little sun shield that just clips on. Some rubber bands that are made into it. And it fits right on there. I'll power it up. And it's kind of bright for the camera. But it blocks that sun, blocks that glare out, and does a really nice job letting you see the screen better. These come in a lot of different sizes. I have an iPad mini size. I even have a full-size iPad here, screen protector here, just in case I would use a full-size iPad for some reason. This is that little extender for the mini for the Evo controller, just in case. Now, are you sick of it yet? Because I'm going to talk about SD cards. And I'm going to make it even more sickening about SD cards. Carry an SD card reader. This has a lightning connector for an iPad. When I'm on the move, I do tons of editing, or at least storage. I at least get the data off of the iPad, off of the SD card onto my iPad to have the backup. ND filters. Enough said. Gotta have them. And let's put that down there. Again, I'll also be packing an iPad mini and a full-size iPad, like I said, for editing. I have a little keyboard case as well. So this sort of replaces my laptop. I can do whatever communication. I can do the video editing. I can do whatever with this guy. So it works really well. LumaFusion is a great video editor for the iPad as well. So, if you're thinking about that, I'm not trying to take you off in too many directions, just giving you an idea of the hardware and software that I take on the road. So, kind of getting down near the end. I'm not going to open this up. You can probably guess what it is. It is a tripod. And I have a little holder here for the Osmo. It's a little different than the extender rod because, hey, come on, tripod's a big extender rod, but you don't need all the controls, obviously, with a tripod. And think about it, with that Wi-Fi mount or adapter, you can mount it on the bottom of the Osmo, stick it in here, and I can either mount a smartphone here to see it, or I can walk away and use that to control. So that's kind of nice if you're going to set up, again, like a motion lapse or a time lapse. You're getting that sky, or you're getting traffic movement, or whatever your shot is. You don't have to sit there and work right here. You can be 5, 10, how many ever feet away, that you still can connect to the Osmo through Wi-Fi with your device. And again, it can be a phone, it can be an iPad, it can be anything like that. So it's kind of a really cool thing to do. So the tripod, as you can see, it's not really huge. It fits in the bag nice. I'm trying to get the adapter in there because it's obviously an accessory, but hey, a little effort will make it fit. So anyway, nice small thing. Throw that in the kit. And lastly, sorry for all the banging around, all the noise. Hey, this is just how I pack. Official Black Dog Drone Ops bag. We have the landing pad. So why do we want that landing pad again? Think about it. If you're flying, especially where I'm going, beachy area, a lot of sand, you don't want to get sand in your gimbal. Those motors, man, they do not like sand and lint and dust and grass and all kinds of garbage getting up in there. And it just makes me shake my head to see these YouTube videos and these guys out doing these flight demos and, oh, we're going to do this. They get in such a hurry. And the first thing they do, rushing around, they pop it up and they tell you, how great we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And a lot of times they do get some cool footage. They're out there doing some cool stuff. But, I look for the details, and it's like, you throw this thing down on a sidewalk next to a beach, and when your drone first powers up, the gimbal goes through that self-calibration. It's moving around. It's checking all the motors. And especially when you hit the props, and it gives that initial blast of air down. Whether you take off or not, the props start spinning. They start fanning the air down because it's going to push. The thrust is going to push the drone into the air. That's what they're prepping for. They're moving in that right, proper direction. That stirs up all that dust and dirt and sand underneath the drone. It's getting up in the sensors. It's getting up around the battery. It's getting up, and it's just killing the gimbal. It's, sand on a camera lens. Seriously. So that's my landing pad lecture. I just get so cranked up about it. Now, if you're going to be somewhere where you need to call attention to what you're doing, in the sense of, hey, I'm here, be careful, stay away, don't approach or whatever, landing cones. If you need to go a bit further, I think I mentioned this before. You want to be proper here. This does say you're an FAA pilot. This is a vest. It's kind of like, you'll see emergency crew or workers or whatever. This is a reflective vest. It's neon yellow. I mean, it just really jumps out there if you really do need to alert people to your activities. And I am a big fan of that. Don't be sneaky, flying around. That's not what you want to do. I mean, you want people to be aware, so they're not going to, first of all, get in a dangerous situation, get too close. But you also want to sort of just keep a safe environment if you're flying around people at all. And when I say around people, I mean, within 100 feet or so. You don't want to be flying right in the middle of a group of people, especially if they don't know what's going on. Because these drones, some are getting really quiet. Like the minis aren't very loud. And under the right circumstances, and especially in, again, thinking about this type of environment, a beachy environment where you're going to have wind noise and things like that, it can drown out that little buzz of that drone. And a lot of people won't hear it, and it can either take them by surprise or, again, we don't want any injuries. So be safe. Just be safe. So that is the majority of gear that I'm taking. That's going to get some good shots. I'm not going to get into the obvious stuff about taking chargers and cables, charging cables, things like that. That's a given. But be sure and go through your pack and double check that. If you need to make a list and go down that. Like we have the pre-flight checklist before you fly, the 10 things to do before you hit the sticks and take off. So make yourself a packing checklist. I've done this, it seems like a million times. But still, there are things that I hit the high points of on the list to make sure that I've got everything packed. I just wanted to kind of walk you through the way I pack for a shoot, visit, trip, adventure. And so anyway, I've got all my gear out now. Just wanted to show you what's going in my bag. I'm going to get packed up. Maybe next week we'll have some cool video to show you. And so anyway, take care, be safe. Check out our show from last week. And also, man, Richard Grieco's new video. Come on, go to the Indie Brigade and check it out. And it's also on YouTube on our Indie Brigade channel, or you can go to romeropictures.com. It's right on the homepage. 6 Feet Away. I mean, Richard, man, you did an incredible job with that. Fantastic song. Wish you the best with it. And I hope to see it just go crazy, go through the sky. I mean, everybody that I've shown it to just loves it. So check that out. Check out our last week's show. Send us some comments. email me. You can get me here on Romero Pictures Indie Brigade. I'm a mentor. Let's book a session. Let's talk about your drone stuff. Let's talk about accessories. Talk about getting you a good price on drones. I mean, I see this stuff all the time, just like I mentioned, the Osmo deal on the DJI website. So if you're thinking about getting started, if you are starting out, you're having trouble flying or figuring out the camera or things like that, get in touch with me. We will figure this out. We will get stuff going for you. So anyway, take care, be safe, have a great weekend. And if there's anything at all you need about drones,